you can't reach me, no frightened. It is not your fight, stand down. I'm not the one, calm down. You know I'm not your problem. You can't be me, I bother. Don't have your time now. Only me bow down. To bambi no farabale. Oh boy, I go larry mole. Okay, okay. It's okay, let them see. Trouble no they pay me. Injaye on the daily. Okay, okay. We go there, okay. I just want Jaye. Look, look. Try me, but to bury me, go my berry. Yeah. You got my attention now. What you gonna do? You the tension, but so let ya kung fu. Okay, pull it down, down. Cause me no fighting. It's not your fight, stand down. I'm not the one, calm down. You know I'm not your problem. You can't be me, I bother. Don't have your time now. Only me bow down.
Of the same image stare back. The jagged pieces of being a woman puzzle me. I stand in front of a broken mirror. Every angle its own perspective. How deceptive to think a woman is only defined by what is in front of her. Let us unpack this Russian doll. Let us process this porcelain figurine that is always perfect before the fall. Before the fall. Is she the woman we've come to know with a head wrap, high heels and painted toes? Is she the lady we all once knew who did as she liked and went where the wind blew? Is she the teen who's lean and mean with baggy shirts and trendy jeans? Or is she the little girl who loved to play and scream? She loved the most and had the wildest dreams. When the world challenges what a woman is, they challenge me. They challenge the natural transition that made me she. They challenge the ones who came before me and nurtured me, the mothers and the grandmothers who bore the heavy burdens so that mine wouldn't be. They challenge Proverbs 31 as a version of a woman too far out in the distance to see. But we see, I see that I am she. I am that Proverbs 31, a narrative already written. I am that Proverbs 32, a story waiting to be told. I am she. I am my mother's daughter. No matter how I deny to be, I walk as she walks. I talk as she talks. The apple that fell by the tree. She is a version of me I cannot escape. When I wear her clothes, I must tailor them to fit my shape. I am she. I am my father's girl. Whether he was there or not, he affects my world. I may be born out of a mother, but I will make decisions because of my father. As a woman, he is the first Adam to help me understand the world around me. I am she. I am my husband's wife. I am the tool like a sharpened knife. If I swing one way, he bleeds and I bleed. If I swing the other way, he becomes a knight and I his sword, a weapon of destruction or of great reward. I am she. I am my children's mother, the nurturer of the future. I hold them and bring them forth. For from my womb they are birthed, and from my words they are fed, until they can stand on their own with a level head. And most importantly, I am she, because I am me. I am not just the many roles I play. I have a choice, and I can choose. I can choose to be or not to be, and if that is the question, then I am every single choice that I make, despite the ones that were made before me. I am she. I forgot to say, it slips my mind sometimes, so I am a music and public speaking teacher, and my booth is over there at the back. We're called Kuvecha Kids, and maybe I wanted to share a little bit about who we are because it drives from where we came from. Kuvecha, loosely translated, is kuvuka. We believe in crossing kids over from a less desirable state to a more desirable state, which means we understand some kids we have for long term and some kids it's only for a season. And so everything we do, from music to public speaking to every extracurricular, every summer camp, every tutoring, is focused on building a holistic child. From the academics to the soft skills. Last summer camp, we looked at graphics design, we looked at entrepreneurship, we looked at how to create businesses. And these are ideas that the world is changing rapidly, even as we're talking about the modern woman and how that is looking out. The world is changing for the children, and they are affected by it. In 10 years, the world will be very different. How we do things will be different. How do we prepare our children for that? So we would love to invite you. Next week, we have a showcase of all the students we've been teaching, from Aga Khan to Braeburn to IST to HOPAC, and they'll be performing. And so we welcome you greatly. Please pass by our booth and see what we're about, and you can check out how to get into our event. Thank you.
So I am going to kickstart the Q&A. As I am asking them a few questions, I'm going to ask Doreen and Asia if you can help me just identify women with questions. All right, so ladies, I will start off the questions as the women are still probably processing and loading. So I do have a question, Mary, even for my benefit. I know you are in the feminism space. I have organized projects and programs for feminism. I will not mention the event, but there was a very huge investment done, was it last year, by a certain company, very, very prestigious. They poured so much money in doing a feminism event. And I organized the event and I had to walk out because I said, I don't have anything to contribute to these kind of conversations where we now have a toxic femininity. So can you help me understand, why is it that many feministic women, or women who say they are feminists, do not reflect what you're saying? It's not what we are seeing. Is it that they're different kind of feminists? Or what is it that is now being so toxic about feminism? Help me understand.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Before I answer your question, so as a feminist, I go back to, you said Mrs. what? Mrs. But she has a name. What is her name? Because Mrs. Safari, what is her name? Yeah, what is her name? Faraja. Okay, because I think in feminism is like, we also make sure that we mention women's name. Like wataji. Kwa sababu Mrs. sio jina lake, Mrs. ni status. So, kurudi kwenye swali lako. I think tuna confuse vitu. I think tuna confuse mitizamo ya watu, na tunatafuta mchawi. Feminism is an easier target. So tumeamua tu kuwavika wa Feminia jina baya kwa vitu ambavyo mtu amefanya as an individual. And I can tell you pia, na wajua wanawake wengi na wasichana wengi ambao kabisa sio wa Feminia, and still kwa sababu ya mahusiano yao na wanaume ambao hayajawa vizuri wanawachukia. Na huyo mtu sio mfeminia hata kwanza hata hataki habari za haki za wanawake, lakini anachukia. Na anawachukia kwa sababu ya mahusiano yake yeye na wanaume yeye. So I think tuanzie kwanza. Nadhani tuache kugeneralize. Kwamba tukikuta kwa mfano, feminists do not hate men. Kabisa. Tunapambana na mifumo ambayo ni ya kandamizi, na ni mifumo ambayo inawadhibu wote, wanawake na wanaume squarely, by the way. It's just, I don't know what happened, wanaume wakaisu kama mfumo unawafavor until mfumo unapowatandika ndo wanaanza kulia. Na hii ambayo alikuwa anaiongelea dada hapo ni kwa sababu mfumo umewatandika, kwa sababu mfumo unakutizama usoni, kwa sababu uzuri wa mfumo haufichi. Umetoa sifa za mwanamke na sifa za mwanaume. Kwa hiyo mwanaume usipofiti kwenye vile vigezo, sio Mary amesema, ni mfumo amesema mwanaume anatakiwa awe hivi. Sasa wanaume wanapojikuta kwenye ile mfumo hawafiti, wanakasirika, wanaumia, alafu wanahisi wanawake ndo tatizo. Kwa hiyo anaanza kusema wanawake wasomi, wanawake wenye pesa. My friend, sio mimi, ni mfumo ulisema mwanaume ni provider. Huna capability ya kuprovide. How is that my problem? Mimi sikuinuka nikasema Mary kwamba wanaume wa provide. Mfumo ulisema a man will provide, a woman is a nurturer. Sasa wewe umeshindwa kuprovide. Is that my problem? Au tukae chini tuongelee mfumo, tujadili mfumo, tuubomoe mfumo, alafu tuseme huu mfumo is not working for both of us. Na Ufeminia wakisema hivyo mnaanza kusema we hate the system that is there ambayo inawakandamiza wanawake na inawakandamiza wanaume. Sasa unapoongelea the toxic environment, I am telling you, I've been to church. Unaingia kanisani unasema no, this is not why I woke up in the morning. You go back to bed. Unaweza kusema makanisa yote ni mabaya. And that, by the way, uko unamwongelea Mungu na Yesu Kristo na msalaba na damu ya Yesu Kristo na mkate wa Yesu Kristo na mwili wa Yesu Kristo. And the toxicity that you see, unasema this is not why I woke up in the morning. So can you come na kuanza kusema kwamba kwenye sehemu za dini kote hakufai? Umeelewa? So I think one of the other things, tunatakiwa tuanze kutofautisha hivi vitu. And I think, to be honest and to be fair, I think we are also not being fair to feminists. Kwamba kuhisi kwamba, mfano dada alikuwa anatolea mfano anasema mimi ni mwanakati, kuna wanawake kibao ambao hata sio wanaharakati, and if you tell them the first sentence you tell them kuhusu wanaume, they run. Ni kwa sababu of their experiences. And we have seen our grandmothers. Kuna wengine ambao ni bibi zetu na nini wanakusimulia nasema maisha tulioishi, hapana mwanangu. Na ndio maana unasema statistics zinasema kingine. Ukianza kufanya kwenye tafiti, wanawake wengi ambao wameolewa akifiwa na mume haolewi tena. Na wote ukiwauliza anasema I did my part and I'm not going through that journey again. Sio kwamba anawachukia wanaume, she has seen that. So unaweza kusema anawachukia. So kuna wanawake ambao they say because of their personal experiences has nothing necessarily to do with feminism. So I hope we can weka hiyo. Na kingine, I hope I'm not coming here as a nice feminist, because I'm not. I am just a feminist and I'm not trying to be a nice feminist. I am just a feminist. And I think pia itakuwa inafanya disservice if I sit here like, I'm the nice one. No, I am just a feminist, clear and through. And I follow the feminist principles to the core, and I try to live them. And that the core of it is like, utu comes kwanza. And that utu is, if I see a woman, I see a man. Sitaki nifike mazingira ambayo huyu atakuwa stripped naked simply because she happened to be a woman. I want her to walk through. Nataka aishi, awekewe mazingira ambayo ataishi na kuflourish as a woman and as a person.
Wow, thank you so much, Mary. Before we take the next question is going to come from the floor. I'm going to allow Ms. Khalila to respond to that. Kels, what is your perspective on why do we have such toxicity in the space of feminism, which, as much as it's true, the genesis of the feministic movement began as a good concept. It began, I think Mary had put it very well in her presentation. It was an ideology, but it still is. And so what do you think about the toxicity that we do see, the other side of it?
I think, so as much as we have, like even when we spoke, I told you I cannot speak against feminism. I am not against feminism. Where I stand is a lot of people don't understand what it is. And unfortunately, we have self-proclaimed feminists who do not understand what it is, but they're very loud. They're very loud. They're very influential. They hold decision-making powers. And one way or the other, wanasema bad things happen because good people do nothing, right? So as much as I understand the movement, but the fact of the matter is, currently, feminism is using as a flag for many campaigns to distort how a good society should work. And it's not just about people who truly understand what feminist. It's not by people who truly understand the entire, and that's why I started with the history and why feminism. Right? And I talked about the fact that it's been misconstrued, and that is currently happening. So as much as people in the feminist movement will say tunafanya hiki na tunasimamia hiki, kuna watu wengine pia ambao ni wanawake pia I normally say the feminist movement has been commercialized. And it's not just by, it's not by men, because men have commercialized it. Now wameingia homo ndani. Maana kuna kitoweo. Kuna fans. Lakini they don't understand what it is. So then how can we have, and I think even just when I came in and I said I've not heard it expressed like that, even though I have heard it in different spaces, there are people who truly stand by what you're saying, but we need now platforms where we can truly share it and speak about it and dissect it without really having the spaces that that gain airplay be hizi ambazo zinazungumzia propagate women against men. Wewe mwanaume wako amefanya nini? Mwambie hivi, mwache, ngomana naye, mjinga huyo. Yo. You go in spaces where literally women, I have been in spaces where women call themselves feminist. And I'm saying you are destroying this man. Because there's some really good men who also carry these principles of it's about humanity, utu. Lakini you see them destroyed by women who, of course, from their own beta experiences and traumatic experiences are misrepresenting the heart of feminism. Unachokizungumzia sio feminism. Unachokizungumzia ni chuki zako binafsi. Na ndo maana hata in my entire presentation I went from the history and where it was and talking about it's been misconstrued. So can we have platforms where we are truly addressing what it actually means so that the goal that it is can actually shine through? Manake kwenye many spaces sasa hivi imejaa uchafu.
Asante sana. I am loving, let me tell you what I'm loving. I am loving the different perspectives. Sawa. And what I want to say is that, ladies, this is a safe space. Sawa. It is a safe space for us to express ourselves and our different perspectives, and it's okay because we all have different experiences. So having said that, I want to open the floor. Please keep your question or your comments very short so that other women can be able to share. I think we only have a few minutes left of this segment because we're already out of time. So we'll take the first questions. The first question, please. Yeah, kindly introduce yourself as well.
Thank you.
Rise up. You can stand.
Yes, so my name is Grace Makani. I'm an educationist. I'm a Christian and I'm married. So I'm going to address those three areas. I like the fact that, first of all, thank you for your presentations. Lovely. I like the safe space and everything. Thank you for what you finished with just now by saying that we need a platform. Because obviously there is a lot of confusion. Yeah, there's so much going on. And unfortunately, our children are in that space where they're going to take this forward. We might be left behind with whatever it is we're believing in, but it's our children, and that's what I'm concerned with as an educationist. But also I'd like to hear your point of view where you didn't go into details in why you are against, or maybe what is said, as I said, in the religion and in marriage. Maybe I would like to hear your point of view. And yes, I think what is very important is to also hear, as someone who is talking a lot and believe in feminism, what are you doing in terms of educating people to understand it in the right way? Thank you.
As a feminist, I think tunaamini katika kuchambua na tunaamini katika kusoma na kufanya utafiti. Kwa hiyo kwenye kuchambua tunachambua mifumo yote na tunachambua taasisi zote. Kwa hiyo tunachambua taasisi ya dini, tunachambua taasisi ya ndoa, tunachambua taasisi ya familia, tunachambua kila taasisi. Kwa sababu kwenye kila taasisi ndiko ambako watu wanatengenezwa na ndiko watu waliko. Kwa hiyo kwenye kuchambua ni kuhakikisha kwamba, kwa mfano, as a feminist, nataka ndoa ambazo ni ndoa zenye afya. Sitaki ndoa ambayo women die in it for the sake of protecting the marriage, ili society anze kusema tuna ndoa zetu while women are dying. Nataka wanawake wanaoishi ndani ya ndoa, sio wanawake waliofariki ndani ya ndoa pamoja na kwamba hawana majeneza. You understand what I mean? Na ni sawa na ambapo pia, na sio hiyo tu, hata kwenye kuwa mama, I want wanawake ambao ni mama ambao wanaishi. I'm a mother of 3. I want to be a healthy mother. A health mother maana yake ni kwamba Naweza nikakaa nikamwambia watoto wangu at some point, today is just me time, my friend, naomba mniache, because I want to take care of myself, kwa sababu I'm challenging motherhood na kile ambacho inaleta. Kwa sababu bibi wengine tumeona mama zetu, tunajua kwamba ilikuwa mama zetu mpaka wanapinda migongo to prove kwamba they are mothers. So as a feminist, I challenge hivyo vitu vyote kuhakikisha kwamba tuna jamii ambayo wanawake wanabaki hai mpaka pale Mungu atakapowachukua, na tukai na wanawake ambao wamefariki lakini they are walking, wakiwa wanasubiri Mungu awachukue. By the time Mungu anachukua watu waliofariki long time, so he doesn't even know what to do with them because they died long time ago. We don't want you to go Mungu akiwa kurecognize, because you were dead so long ago. So that's what I mean napoongelea hiyo. Na wakati mwingine kwa sababu watu nadhani hawasikilizeki mpaka mwisho au wasomi, kwa sababu wafeminia wanachukia ndoa kwa sababu wanataka waanze kusema na wapenda wanaume. Sasa ili ni prove kwamba na wapenda wanaume, do I need to marry all of them? Do I need to sleep with all of them? Like, I don't need to prove kwamba I love them, but I need to show kwamba there is humanity. Na najua kwamba hii dunia bahati mbaya hatukuchagua, uzuri hatukuchagua. Mungu aliamua tuwepo watu wa aina hizo. So we have to coexist. Kwa hivi tunavyofanya hata hii mijadala ni sisi tunatafuta jinsi gani tutakoexist kama watu wawili tutakutana hapa kwenye ulimwengu ambao tumeukuta, ili tuuache salama, lakini pia tuachie watoto wetu ulimwengu salama. Na watoto wangu kila siku wakija kutoka shule, sababu watoto wangu ukiwauliza what does your mama do, wanasema she's a feminist. I think they think feminism is a paid job. So ukiwauliza wanangu wanasema wale wa chini wanasema she's a feminist. So alikuwa ananiuliza, but mom, wawili wa chini ni wavulana. Kusema but mom, unajua shuleni kwetu sisi msichana akikupiga shule nzima inainuka, lakini sisi mvulana mvulana ukimpiga msichana shule nzima inainuka, lakini msichana akitupiga tunaambiwa it's okay. Nikamwambia that's wrong, kwa sababu tunajua jinsi ambavyo tumelea jamii ambayo wanawake wanakuwa abused, and there's absolutely no way tutakuja kutengeneza kizazi ambacho sasa women are becoming abusers, kwamba young girls are saying kwamba it's okay to slap a boy and I think it's okay. That is not power. Actually you're a bully, na hiyo ni violence na lazima iwe addressed. So I think kuna haja ya kuelewa ufeminia ni nini na haki za binadamu ni nini, na ufeminia sio kwamba I have to push a man down for me to get up, but also I don't need to put myself down ili wewe mwanaume uonyeshe kwamba you're a man. So hiyo kwamba na maintain my voice, you maintain your voice, but we coexist as people.
Wow, beautiful. Such wholesome conversation. I'm going to take a question from this side of the room. If there's a lady with a question, either to Mary or to Kels.
Hi. The feminist. You're feminist as well? You're a feminist. You were preparing for the symbiotic relationship, right? And I think my question will be addressed to you. But I think it will also be relevant to you as well. She mentioned something that got me thinking. I have boys. I think we relate on that ground. I have children who are boys. I also want to push the girl agenda ahead. But I think we've gotten into a place where we are on a crossroad. Should we take the girls, but we're leaving the boy behind? Who's going to stand up for the boy? And it's showing in mannerisms that are popping up right now. It's seeming like the girl child is getting more support, and she's going. She is actually going. She's gone. We are here. We're gone. You know, all this wasn't possible in, let's say, like 10 years back. This couldn't be happening, but it's happening now. That shows that there's ground that has opened for the girl child. But yet again, we have boys who are coming up, you guys. We have boys. So how do we then cross over to that symbiotic relationship you're saying, for us to move forward as a generation, as a community together, not leaving the boy child behind? Do we really need another? What's the opposite of feminist? Wajama group. Do we need a machismo group? Fighting for their rights as well, so that we can now start propagating it right now, so that boy feels represented.
The man up movement. Kels, please.
Yeah. If you look at the data and the statistics in education, in health, in GBV, in when it comes to sexual reproductive health, across every sector in the workspace, if we look at data, bado tuko, yani guys, we have not taken off. We have not. What we're seeing are very cosmetic outputs. They're not even outputs, cosmetic outputs of some interventions ambazo zimefanyika. Lakini kusema kwamba tumeenda Na watu wanasemaga, oh, wanawake wameniniliwa sana. Watu ulichokiona, umeona programu, umeona mradi, umeona mikakati mikakati inaendeshwa, lakini tuzungumzie mafanikio. Kusema kwamba tumeendesha programu, wamekuja wanawake 200 wame-attend events. Manake those are the tunatik, wamekuja wanawake 200 ndio umewafundisha, lakini were they able to implement what you taught? Tukiangalia the statistics of women actually owning land, and one of the things is, unless you have tried to actually buy land in places that have policies and norms that restrict you from buying, unless you have a man co-sign and it's in his name, you will not understand. Unless you have tried to get a loan from a piece of land you have and a bank tells you that a man has to co-sign, you might not necessarily need. Lakini, I'm saying that to say this. Most of the strategies that have been in place need to be reassessed, redone, and they really have to think about how to, how to really bring out an entire society. Because in a family, kwa mfano, nitazungumzia kuna miradi, labda nitoe mfano wa miradi, right? Una mradi wa kuwawezesha wanawake wajasiriamali labda Arusha, huu ni mfano. Wanawake wajasiriamali wanaenda kuwawezeshwa kutumia simu kufanya biashara. Lakini kumbuka, kwenye hiyo jamii kuna jamii nyingi ambao mwanamke hata kutumia simu hauwezi kutumia simu mpaka unaruhusiwa kutumia na mume wako. That is a fact. Kuna jamii nyingine ambao wanawake mpaka kutumia simu ikiisha chaji inabidi mume wako atoe ruhusa. Wanasema wanaziweka kwenye vikapu, wanaweka simu kwenye vikapu, zinapelekwa mji wa pili ambao una umeme, mnachajiwa ndo mnaletewa ndo mnaweza mkatumia. There are some really regressive systems at play. But then kumbuka, hizo systems sio kwamba zinamdidimiza mwanamke tu, zinadidimiza jamii. We need to kwamba every single thing that puts a woman down is putting down an entire society. But does the other side understand that? Because in you shooting me, you're dying too. You get, in you restricting me, you're dying too. It's not kusema kwamba tunadidimiza mwanamke, ni kwamba unajiua wewe mwenyewe. And then to say kwamba do we have to have something that fights for men's rights? Their rights are not restricted. They have the full play yard. So it's not about rights at this point. It's about, okay, right now we're seeing symptoms of shifts. We do not like these symptoms because of the way they're playing out. And because they're playing out in a way that is toxic. Because the narratives that have been propagated are toxic. I have been in a conference where women were speaking about and saying we don't need men. I am like, kwa kweli me, I need a brother. Saying we don't need men. Even if all the men die, we have, and their hashtag was feminist 210. And I said, okay. And conference ilikuwa imejaa. So moderator anaongea, watu wanapiga shangwe, yes. And I'm like, no. Yes, no. And I said, kwa kweli, that is destructive. Because kwa wale unaambia, so wewe ambao una mtoto wa kiume, what are you saying? Kwamba you're saying your son should die. Imagine a world where it was only women in existence. The fact of the matter is we have incredible God-given abilities. But so does the man. What we are fighting is not each other. What we are fighting is the system that at this point is bringing the woman down. But as it's doing that, appearing to, as it's bringing the woman down, it's bringing the entire society down. Ni kwamba tunasema kwamba we are swimming to the other side, lakini watu wawili tuna shackles zimetushika kwenye mguu, umewekwa mnyororo afu unatofali kwa chini. We're all sinking, but you think you're floating, but you're not.
All right. So in view of time, I will take one last question. There's a question over there.
Yes, thank you very much for the great presentations. So I had a quick question, which I think both of you mentioned, and I wanted to know more on that. But it's a very straightforward question. You both mentioned that you are not a superwoman, yeah? So I want to understand, who is a superwoman? How could you define a superwoman? Yeah, thank you.
So I think narrative ya superwoman ni bribe, if you ask me. Narrative ya superwoman ni bribe. Na wanawake wengi tumeibeba, tukaimeza kama ilivyo. Na ndio maana unasikia tunaanza kusema mimi ni superwoman, na akianza kusimulia sifa zake, nafanya kazi, nina kikoba, nalea watoto, ninapika, anataja utumwa wote unaomzunguka. Alafu anataja jinsi anavyoleta pesa nyumbani, anataja jinsi ambavyo halali, achoki, anafanya nini, anataja vyote hivyo, alafu anasema mimi am super because I do it all. And as people, as women, jamani tusidanganya, you cannot do it all. Na ndio maana kwa wanawake ambao wanafanya kazi, unafanya biashara, kuna wakati unakaa unaanza kusema hivi hao watoto si watanipeleka ustawi wa jamii? Mbona kama na miss fulani hivi, yani nimekaa sana kwenye kazi, hivi hao watoto hawa. Ndio hapo kwa wale ambao tunajua kwamba tuna watoto, unaanza na wewe kuwa bribe. Tunawanunulia kakitu haka, unawatoa, unawafanya nini, kwa sababu unajua huko umemiss. Ukiwa nyumbani vitu vimekaa, unagundua kwamba kwenye kazi zako, kwenye biashara pia una miss. So kuna hii ambayo you cannot have it all. Na kwa hiyo lazima wanawake tuelewe kwamba kuna balance, lakini wakati mwingine hakuna balance. But where do you find yourself and how do you find yourself? Hauwezi kusema, na hapo ndipo inapokuja. Siku hizi wanawake, we have become so perfect when you kusema I'm an independent woman, I'll bring the money. My friend, keep bringing the money. Keep bringing the money, and I say more power to keep bringing the money. And afu baadaye mwishoni mnaanza kuita watoto watu majina as if alikutuma ku bring the money. Keep bringing them, and I tell to those women, tafadhali zileteni hizo pesa wapeni. Anza kusema mimi ni independent woman, what you can do, mimi naleta, unaleta pesa. What we saying ni kwamba kwenye feminism, let's sit down. Kama tunataka kuongelea 50-50, let's sit down tuseme kama nalipa bills, tukae chini tuongee kuhusu ulezi wetu unaendaje hapa ndani. It's not fair mimi niende kazini asubuhi, tuondoke wote alfajiri, mimi niamke kabla yako, nikuandalie, nikuandae, wewe amke as a robot. Kuna wanaume wajua hata anavaa hiyo siku nguo gani, yani unajua di colors za mimi. I struggle to know what to wear. Afu kuna mtu anajua ya kwake na anajua ya mwingine, unamvalisha, anaenda kazini na wote mnaenda kazini, unachapwa na mfumo. Umeshamtengezea chai. Wengine wanasema utaki mume wako wale kazini kwa sababu wale watu wapishi wa kazini watamuua, watambeba. Unamtengenezea chakula, anaenda nacho, alafu akirudi jioni na wewe unarudi uko hoi. Kama una gari umepambana na daladala, kama una gari umepambana na foleni. Unarudi nyumbani, unakimbizana kupika, jasho linakutoka, majasho yote yanakutoka, unapika, wanakula, unaandaa watoto, unakaa mezani, unaangalia homework za watoto. Mwenzako kakaa au kapita kwa washikaji, unafanya homework za watoto. Ukishamaliza, kumbuka huko kazini ulimpigia dada kumwambia cha kupika. Dada ni mpishi tu, wewe ndio ulimwambia pika hiki, baba anapenda hiki. Kwa hiyo baba anapikiwa. Alafu unasahau kuuliza watoto wanapenda nini. Alafu kwa hiyo you are the manager at work, you are the manager of your home at work. You come back home, wanamaliza kula, ukalaze watoto. Alafu hakikisha kwamba chumbani mandhari ni mazuri. So ukamwandalia mwenzio mandhari ni mazuri. Alafu na wewe jiandae ili na wewe ufanane na mandhari. Kwa sababu huwezi kuandaa mandhari wewe hujafanana na mandhari. Alafu na wewe ufanane na mandhari. Alafu uingie chumbani, uperform equally. Mwenzako alitangulia, amepata muda wa kufikiria na kujitafakari, amepumzisha akili. Wewe na stress yako na vikoba vyako na kazi zako na pros ambazo hazijaenda na mafunding hayapo, unakaribia kufukuzwa kazi, biashara haijaenda, mkopa ueleweki, unarudi to perform to the task na stress yote. Alafu unaanza kusema nimemaliza, I'm a superwoman, nimeangu ameondoka. Alfajiri tena unaamka lazima uhakikishe kama mume wako anaondoka akiwa vizuri, ameshiba. Unafanya tena, unampa huduma 100%. Ukishamaliza kumpa huduma anabaki. Kuna wanawake wengine anasema sio unamsafisha pia. I don't even know how that works. Unamwogesha, ukishamaliza unaenda kumwandalia chai. The routine inakuwa ni cycle. Matokeo yake ukikamata mwenzako akikanyaga kazini bahati mbaya, the way unaruka, kumbe your problem starts at home, unakuja kuletea wenzio shida unakofanya nako kazi. Kuna wanawake ukimgusa tu hivi anaruka na wewe, anaruka, kumbe ana vitu vimejengeka. Na ndio maana tumeanza kuongelea sana wellness kwa wanawake and well-being, to be able to talk about issues and to be able to say, tafuta your community ambao unaweza kuambia I am not okay today, I think I'm tired, I think I'm losing it, I think I'm confused. There is absolutely nothing wrong kuambia wenzio I think I'm losing it, I'm not sure if I got it anymore, can I take a break? Na uwe na community ya marafiki zako, dada zako ambao watasema take a break, we'll take it for you until when you come back. Make sure you have those kind of friends ambao ukiwa confused, they are with you, who will fight with you before they ask the reason. Afu baadaye anakuambia my friend, you know pale tungepigwa, what was happening? You need to have those kind of friends. And I'm not natumia kupigana as a figurative language, but as women we need those kind of friends ambao wanaturudisha chini. They mentor us, they help us. Sometimes hata marafiki ambao wanasema my friend huyu amepitiliza, go fight. We need those kind of friends pia. Kwamba hii mara nne, no, go fight. Na go fight is like go tell them what you think and what you mean. Alafu rudi hapo. Kwa sababu kuna marafiki wengine kila kitu you take and you keep quiet. Na una marafiki zako ambao anakuendesha mpaka mlangoni anakuambia ole wako usipomwambia ukirudi mimi na wewe. You need to have those friends kwa sababu you need those. So yeah, so I hope, but ndio maana wengine tunasema I'm not a superwoman. I am strong. Lakini kuna wakati ambapo pia nasema my strength inabidi kinika rejuvenate. Kwa hiyo naipeleka likizo kidogo. I become weak and I have other people who take over for me.
Wow. Wow. So we are out of time for this session. I'm just gonna let Kels close with your thoughts on being a superwoman.
Sorry, she had a very pressing comment. She really asked if she could have just 1 minute.
Okay. After Kels has said, we'll allow her 1 minute. Okay.
All I'm going to say is I'm not a superwoman, I am a woman. What comes with me being a woman is power, it's strength, it's pride, it's also the fact that I'm a natural attention to detail, the fact that I am innovative at best, I am naturally creative, the fact that I am a natural solution bringer, the fact that I can double and accelerate progress. There are so many things, but then also the fact that there are times that nataka kudekezwa. Kwa kweli baby jamani leo. There's this perception, superwoman, and the reason I don't nini with it is we find that a woman wants to be a man and a woman at the same time. Kwamba I'm going to be all things woman, but I'm also going to be all things man at the same time. Why? Why am I going to kill myself? I have no idea how. And I don't want to. You do your role, let me play my role vizuri. But then I can bring my holistic self to the table. Most of the times, the whole concept of superwoman has us women misalign with some, and I believe this is as a very important responsibility, misalign with our responsibility to bring out the next generation. And over there, when it comes to kids, men have a critical role in creating, in bringing up the next generation. But there are things as a mother that I can see in my child even before, yani ages before the father can see. Alafu naenda kumtonya namwambia, yo, hapa kuna hiki, I need you to do this, kaongea na mtoto hiki. Mbona sikioni? Mimi nimekiona, weka kaongea na. Because yani ni kitu ambacho Mungu amenipa. Right? And one of the things that we need to understand what it is to be a woman holistically. Being a superwoman means kwamba mimi najiona kwamba I'm all that and other women are not. I want to understand that every single person is going through their own journey, going through their own struggles, but we are all women in different parts of that life. What it means and how it manifests to me might be different from somebody else, but for me, my journey is to understand, to be able to connect with and live out, manifest fully what God created in me to be as a full-on woman. So when God looks at me and says, yeah, I created that woman and she's doing exactly what I created her to do as a full woman. Mungu hakucreate superwoman.
Umezungumza, that's what I was going to say. Kwamba, okay, no, exactly. But when we know who we really are, our roles, when we know why you are a woman, why you are a man, then you'll know our responsibilities. We'll know what our responsibilities are. Now, when in Psalm 11:3, it says, what can the righteous do when the foundations are broken? Sasa hivi, the foundations are broken, and we need to go back to the basics to see how best to build these foundations so that we can build a better generation. Thank you very much.
Wow, amazing. Round of applause, ladies. That is some wholesome talk. Thank you so much. Kwa mimi contribution yangu ni hii. Ladies, I have never understood the word empower the woman. I'm sorry, I don't get it. Because I don't know how you can empower something that is so powerful. I don't get it. But I appreciate so much the richness of the different perspectives to actually find out. It's not we're seeing the same thing differently, and the thing is not the problem, it's the system that is bringing us that thing that needs to change. So you know what, we're going to have another event that's going to address those systems, because now we need to start asking ourselves, who gave us these systems, where did they come from, and what are we going to do about them? Thank you so much. That brings us to the end of the first session.